Hey, howdy, folks. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome. We got a.
Hey, oh shit! I'm sorry.
How's everybody doing? No worries. So another Wednesday night, another Chronicles of Not Jay, and we're gonna talk about a couple of things. The big thing we're going to talk about tonight is going to be conventions. I know we've talked about conventions before, but I want to bring it up again because there's a new one on the horizon, and I am very much a part of it. It's going to be in Kansas City, the Kansas City metro area. It's actually going to be in Blue Springs, which is east of Kansas City on I-70. But we'll get into that here in a little bit. But what we are going to talk about first, as always, we're going to talk about Fistful of Lead from Wiley Games. Specifically, the new version of Galactic Heroes. I got a mock-up cover for it right here. I'm going to embiggen myself. Fistful of Lead Galactic Heroes 2nd edition. Quick and easy set of wargame rules for skirmishes in the far future. What do you get with the 2nd edition? Well, Robin tells me we get fixes. We include the vehicle manual, skimmers, stompers, mounts, etc. That a purchase unto itself right now is $10. It's going to be included. It's also going to include the Codex Galactica. That's the one that's got all the pre-statted people in it. All of the characters, something that people are always asking about. How do I make characters? Well, you're going to get the Codex Galactica. Again, if you bought it right now, it'd be $10. But it's going to be included. So this is going to be out there. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to come in at I think the $20 price range. I don't know for sure, but I think 20, 25, somewhere along in there. It's going to be softback. It's also going to have you're also going to be able to get the PDF for it also. But what I'm really excited about is the Fistful of Lead Galactic Heroes, the Savior of the Universe Collected Edition. This is going to be a hardback, and it is going to be pre-order only. So I talked to Robin this past weekend, and it looks like we have until January 31st, the end of this month, to order the hardback, which, because it was going to be until March 31st, but she's pulling it back to January 31st. A couple of reasons. One, she wants to get it into people's hands quicker than June. And once it goes out there, or once it goes to the printer, it takes between 6 to 8 weeks. So if she can, send the order in on January 31st, fingers crossed, mid-March, which is an important time frame for March to Victory, which is at the end of March. And we're going to go into that in more detail. But what does Fistful of Lead Galactic Heroes, the Savior of the Universe Collected Edition, give us? Well, it's the exclusive sci-fi hardback. It's going to be $55. If you ask Warmutt, he'll tell you the hardback version of the fantasy book is worth the money he spent. So $55 is a good deal. You're going to get the Galactic Hero 2nd edition. You're going to get that vehicle manual. You're going to get Codex Galactica. You're also going to get Starfighters, plus 6 free scenarios from the original Galactic Heroes Kickstarter. So there you have it. You're going to get 2nd edition Galactic Heroes, 2nd edition Galactic Heroes, and Starfighters plus the two, the Codex Galactica and the vehicle manual, all for $55. Well worth the money. Plus, it's hardback. It's going to look beautiful. They're also doing a bundle, Savior of the Universe edition. You're getting for $85. You're going to get the hardback Savior of the Universe edition, plus both sets of cards. You're going to get the Galactic Heroes deck and you're going to get the Starfighters deck. These are 20 apiece. So for $85, you're going to get the $55 hardback. You're going to get the $20 Galactic Heroes. You're going to get the $20 Starfighters. And that hardback is going to include Starfighters, Codex Galactica, vehicle manual, and the second edition of Galactic Heroes. $85. Oh, yeah. That's also going to give you the PDF, and it's going to give you your hardback is going to be autographed by Jay Wiley himself, or so I'm told. So get your order in. $55 for the hardback by itself, $85 for the bundle. January 31st is when she's turning it off. So we thought we had until March 31st. She wants to get it into our hands quicker. So Robin said January 31st. Make it happen, guys. This will go towards your total purchases. So if you remember, total purchases get you at $200, gets you the coaster. $400 gets you the tape measure. $600 gets you a bundle of coasters. $800 gets you the swanky dice box, collapsible dice box. Then $1,000 gets you the hat, the baseball cap with the Wiley logo, and then lastly $1,200 gets you the t-shirts. So definitely make sure you're buying all of your goods from Wiley Games Direct, wiley-games.com. So now they did put the fantasy books. They did put the fantasy PDFs up on one of the PDF sets. I don't remember which one it is. And in the first week, all 3 PDFs shot to the top 10. So instead of spending your money at RPG Now or whatever it is, or PDFs whenever, I don't know. Go to wiley-games.com, buy direct. It's worth the time. It's worth the effort. It's worth the money. So there's my spiel for Fistful-led Galactic Heroes, Fistful-led Fantasy. Go to Wiley-Games. You can't go wrong. Robin will get you taken care of. So before I dive into my next quick topic, let's go ahead and take a look and see what's going on with everybody. We've got Bunkhouse Games. I sure got on early. Yeah, you did. You came in at 7:53. That's about 37 minutes before we went live. So Chuck was right there with you at 8:07. Yep, early is good. Tiger Shadow down under comes in. Bunkhouse, you've got time to brew coffee and have a bicky. I hope it's pronounced bicky, meaning it's a biscuit, which in American terms, that's a cookie. So I'm hoping it's pronounced bicky. Dave comes in and says, hello, early attendees and everyone else. Chuck says, so do we get extra credit for being early? X says 5 points each. So there you go. Tiger Shadow says, bucketing down here in Queensland, Australia. Perfect day for a Not Jay episode. I'm assuming bucketing means rain. Again, I'm still working on, translating English to English. So, of course, I come in and say, welcome, one and all. Thanks for dropping in. And I do truly mean that. I appreciate everybody that shows up. Paul, thank you for dropping in again. Hey, just watched chapter 2 of the book of Boba Fett, and you guys are on 2. What a great day. Absolutely. For 5 more weeks after tonight, you get to watch Boba Fett, and then you get to watch us. Can't get any better than that, can it? And my understanding is we are going to be seeing more Mandalorian here very soon. We don't have a release date yet, but I'm hoping it's going to be soon. We also have Ahsoka. We also have Kenobi. We also have Andor. So we got some good Star Wars stuff coming. As you all know, once it's out, once people have had a chance to watch it, we'll talk about it. Of course we will, because it's Star Wars, and I live and die Star Wars. Speaking of which, where'd he go? Well, I was going to show you that I've been working on Chewbacca, but I think the cats have run off with him. Chuck, I'm going to have to find your Chewbacca because I think the cats ran off with him. Oh, well. You'll get him. Trust me. And then Todd says, hey, man, sorry I can't be there tonight. Family stuff. I get it. Don't worry. Says Paul, there's another World War II teleporting game video coming out after Not Jay's show. Well, there you go. So we do have Hex to Hex with us tonight, Mr. Jeff. Hello, Jeff. Thank you for joining tonight. I appreciate it. Can't hear you again. Are you there now? He rearranged his room, and so technical difficulties abound. I think we hear him.
How about now?
Yes.
Hi.
Hot diggity. So, well, and not only did you rearrange your room at your house, you completely rearranged your office to be in a completely new office.
Yes, I packed up and moved over New Year's into a new corner of our complex. And I've been getting more work done in the last 3 days than I have for the last 7 years. Yeah, Todd, I'm sorry.
Outstanding. So, Paul says, "Oh, please God, no! I do fantasize you are playing bolt action. Not so much, buddy." And then Todd says, "Woohoo! Jeffy Hexy is on." So, the other thing, I don't know if y'all noticed. If you look, I've got 115 subscribers now, so thank you, one and all. We're 85 away from hitting 200. But I'm blown away by what happened with Monday's video. I don't know if anybody has noticed, but Monday's video, which is my first one for World at War 85 board game, has 133 views.
Hex Encounter, baby.
I'm not gonna lie. I am surprised. I'm shocked. I'm happy. I will be loading more World at War 85. I'm working on a video now for it. I'm gonna be honest. It's a lot easier than doing the ships. So, but this next one, we're gonna be talking infantry.
Grunts. Now, I don't have World at War 85, but somebody did give me a free game a while back. I'm assuming this is the precursor to that.
Yes. So
Okay.
World at War had different volumes that were not congruous to one another. In other words, an M1 or a Leopard or a Challenger that you might have had in that box might have had different stats in another volume.
Right.
And I'm hoping to get Keith Crackton and David and Devin on with us probably in February to talk about it. What they've done is they've kind of not really stripped it down to the bones, but definitely put it on a weight loss program. And come on up, buddy. There we go. Oh, thank you, dear. But what they've done is all of the volumes are going to be having the same information. So an M1 is an M1 is an M1. A T72 is a T72 is a T72. So they will be completely cross compatible.
Right.
Which I like quite a bit. Hi. Yes. Say hi to everybody.
Clark.
Yeah, Clarky. Yeah, it's your good boy. All right. So I'm going to be doing more of those. Paul says Monday's video is good. I enjoyed it. Thank you, Paul. I'm hoping you enjoy the rest of it. What's going to eventually happen is I will get the counters out on a map and I will actually show you how the game works. So to the point I might even do a live play of one of the scenarios. Oh, Tiger Shadow says hi. Hi. He says meow. Jeff, I believe I found a box that will work for the Europa game, 6mm minis, and Luke's app basing material. Outstanding. Yeah, Jeff, you're gonna love that Luke app's basing material. It's the stuff that I use.
Yeah, I just didn't want to go buy anything until I understand what I'm doing.
Oh yeah. Well, what's great about this stuff, you don't have to know shit about anything.
Right.
You literally put down some white glue and you dunk your miniature in, get a bucket like this.
Right. Oh, did dip. Okay. So let me ask. So all I have is this little green flock that I've been sort of testing with, and I've been using this Elmer's clear gel.
That'll be fine.
All right.
That'll be fine. But hopefully I don't pour this all over my damn computer. Let me do this just in case.
Brian.
So
don't let Clark see that.
Here's the stuff here. And what you do is you put the white glue down on the base of the model.
All right.
And then you just dredge it like that.
Okay.
Literally, that is all you got to do.
That's what I've been trying to do. But this stuff's so fine, it's not real. That's all they had.
Oh, yeah. Now, you can be like me and be crazy and make your own.
I thought about walking down here in the parking lot and just scooping up a handful of small gravel.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much what you got in there. So, but yeah, definitely Luke App's stuff is great. We do have you don't have to buy it from the UK and spend gobs of money on getting it shipped to you. You can buy it from what? You can get it from what is It's Tim Spikowski. He's there in St. Louis. Oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the name of the company right now. They make Mortal Gods and Gangs of Rome. Footsore Miniatures. Yeah, if you go to Footsore Miniatures North America, I believe .com, you'll be able to order it directly. I think it's $8 a bag.
All right.
But looks like Todd's got you hooked up for your first batch. It's gonna last forever, dude. It will last forever. Paul, yeah, I am gonna keep it simple. So I personally hate reading rules. I'll just be out there and say it. I hate reading rules. So if I can find somebody that's already figured it out and can tell it in, so a third grader can understand it, that's what I'm going for. So, Warmut, howdy. I hope you're having tacos or ice cream or both. Cheers.
Will that work to what Todd's talking about, or do I need to get something?
So that's to cover the
to flatten any shiny stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He says then you'll want to brush on a 50/50 PVA water solution on top to lock it down. So what he's talking about on the once you get
Oh, come on, Dave. Taking all the fun out of it.
So
Good
once you
chips, huh?
so once you get it on there, what he's talking about is then brushing another layer of water and PVA on top of this to lock it down so it doesn't flake off. I have not done that, but I also live on the dangerous side. But it looks really good. And it literally takes no damn time at all.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting it so I can give it a go, because this stuff here, that was fine to look at, but it doesn't really do anything. Looks like somebody laid artificial turf down on the ground.
Right. Now, this is the stuff this is my homemade stuff. I probably could dress it up with some leaves or some bigger pebbles, but I think it still looks good.
Luke Apps, Paul. Luke Apps, is that what it's called? Luke something?
Yeah. Luke Apps. He is it is Luke APS out of the UK. So of course it'll be, cost an arm and a friggin' leg to get anything to you. So you're definitely going to want to, when you order your Warlord stuff, talk to your buddies, say, hey, can you pick up some of this stuff for me also, and have them ship it. Oh, the flavor. So I've got a couple. This one here is Mediterranean. Light green and browns and beiges. Looks really good, I think. And then I have not used it yet, but this one is, it's now called Geek Gaming Scenics. Yeah, thank you, Tiger Shadow. It's Patchy Plains, and it's a little here. It's a little greener, and the rocks in it are more russet toned, more grays and russet. Russet like potatoes. Yeah, the med's really nice. It's a good. It's great, in my opinion. It's great for Star Wars stuff, to be honest. So yeah, I like it a lot. The only time I'm not going to use anything like that is on these guys here because they're going to be on a starship. So McMurray is in the house. Be safe out there, brother. Stay warm. I don't know if it's any kind of warmer for you than it is for me, but it is 18 Fahrenheit here right now. 18 Fahrenheit. That's negative numbers for you Aussies. I know you're probably going to hit 37 or 40 today. So, yeah, McMurray says pine forest floor is incredible for smaller scales. Actually, I used the Mediterranean for my Arab Israeli stuff. I just picked out the really big pebbles and it turned out looking pretty good. Yeah, it's 38 degrees there now. Yeah. Let me see if I can figure real quickly what the conversion rate is because it's ridiculous. Let's see here. It's currently -8 here. Yeah. -8, boys and girls. Gotta love it. So
your cold air finally got here for the last 3 days. It's funny too because all that snow that just messed up Washington D.C. They're like D.C.'s not even an hour east of me, and every stinking county around us got snowed on as much as 7 to 8 inches. Never even touched us, and we're in the mountains.
Yeah,
foothills.
Yeah, I would take 38. I would take 38 Fahrenheit or Celsius. I don't care right now because it's a shit ton warmer than it is right now. So anyway, yeah, more. I'll be doing more of the World War 85 videos. Hopefully it'll bring more subscribers in. I really hope for that. Anyway, that's kind of what's going on. That's my preamble, as it were. So, what about this convention stuff we're talking about? Well, the end of March, the last weekend of March, a new convention called March to Victory is going to be held in the Kansas City metro area. It's tickets. Pre-purchase tickets went on sale today at the website marchtovictory.net. And let me see if I can pop up that real quick. Hold on 1 second. Where's my damn mouse? There it is. Create a banner. www. Add banner.
Paul, I'd love to see your list of war games. Not your miniature stuff, but your hex and counter.
Edit. There we go. Let's try that now. There we go.
Oh, look at you, all slicky.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul, they're still working on figuring out a way to get that over to you guys through a stockist somehow, some way. Because one thing is the new version, or not new version, but the new volume is going to be a lot smaller. So it's not going to be as heavy, so it's not going to be as expensive to get shipped to you. That being said, it's still expensive to ship to anything to Australia because, reasons. Anyway, March to Victory. I am an integral part of it. we're gonna have 16 tables for gaming. We've got 5 sessions of gaming. Yeah, McMurray says everybody loves cold weather until your piss freezes. Exactly. Anyway, 16 tables of gaming, 5 sessions. So that's what, 80 games that we're gonna have.
Wow. All miniatures.
All miniatures. Now, that doesn't mean we couldn't bring in something like Commands and Colors Epic, because then you've got multiple players. But what we're really driving for is a really good looking tables that draw people to them, with the ability to have multiple players playing.
Right.
Unfortunately, most board games are one-on-one type of a situation. We're going for the social aspect here. Another great thing about it, and I have never been part of a gaming convention that is going to have this, not just on site, but as integral to the convention space. We're going to have a open cash bar, Friday night and Saturday night, 6 to 10, both nights. So that's something new. We're going to have concessions. We're going to have a silent auction. It's going to be a blast. Like I said, tickets went on sale today at marchtovictory.net the entire weekend. Somebody throw out a number. Tell me what you think it's going to cost to get into this convention. Wild guesses. We'll give it a little bit. McMurray says, Eat Hitler goes fast. There'll be more than one game each session. All right. So, yeah, McMurray is planning on bringing the game Eat Hitler, where you've got your different Jurassic Park. Yeah, Hanger Flying, you looked at the website already. You're cheating. Yeah, if you buy early, it's $12. Yeah, $4.55 Australian. Isn't that about $12 American? Yes, he is. Yeah, Hanger Flying is Bane. So yeah, 25. You're too high there, Chuck. Yeah, it's $12 if you buy the ticket early. $15 if you come day of. So yeah, that to me that's cheap at twice the price, honestly.
So what do you think? I mean, I'm just taking it because I've never been to one, so I'm going to assume that a majority of it's going to be the attendees will be a lot of local.
Yeah. Well, right now, yeah, we're expecting majority of the attendees to be Kansas City, St. Louis, maybe some from Oklahoma City, as far as ways Oklahoma City, some from Nebraska. We're hoping to draw the same type of folks that have been going to recruits.
So Matt,
what's that?
Just saying hey to Matt.
Oh yeah. So we'd like to see 150 participants first year. I think that would be great. That would be amazing if we could do that. If we go bigger, even better. This is the first year. By no means are we expecting anything like a fall in over there on the East Coast with HMGS. We are up against Adepticon, which is up in Chicago the same weekend, but it's a completely different type of experience. Adepticon is strictly for gamers who are wanting to play in tournaments like Bolt Action or Warhammer 40K, whereas we're going to be having, narrative play games like Eat Hitler, or, a large number of Fistful of Lead games. So it is being run by, or sponsor. It's being run by Robin and Jay, along with some of their close gaming buddies, me being one of them. But it's sponsored by Wiley Games as well as some other people as well. So you're going to be hearing a lot about it, and that's why I'm wanting to talk about conventions and what we like about them. Now, Jeff, you just said yourself you've never been to one, so I'm glad you're here so you can ask the pertinent questions. You can ask, well, what about this or what about that? That, someone who's been a convention goer for next to 35 years. I've been going to conventions. Chuck says, Paul, there's a young man in the Philippines who uses a freight forwarder service for the games he buys. Cheaper, he says, but don't expect it to get there quickly. Huh. That's interesting. Hey, Chuck, if you could get some more information and forward that to Paul, I'm sure he would be pleased as punch. Well, there is that also. Yeah, you know what? The thing to remember is their March to Victory will always be that last weekend of March. That's right now set in stone as anything can be. So we're definitely looking to grow it. We want it to be definitely the best regional convention in the next couple of years, and if we can start drawing, nationally, that'd be great too. So some of the things that, there's small conventions, there's medium conventions, there's large conventions. This is definitely going to start small. We're hoping to be able to get to medium in a couple of years. And what I mean by medium is somewhere between 350 to 600 attendees over the course of the weekend. To me, that would be considered a medium-sized convention. Now, there are big conventions and there are huge conventions. Big conventions are your conventions where you see 1,000 or 2,000 attendees over the course of the weekend. Adepticon recently, I think, if I remember correctly, they came in at 7,000 or 8,000 attendees not last year, but 2 years ago, the last time they held. And then, of course, you have Gen Con. I think I heard at one point in time Gen Con had like 55,000 attendees, which is just,
my God. Yeah, but Gen Con's like one of the big dogs, right?
Well, it is the big dog.
Like WBC is out here on the East Coast.
Right. It is the granddaddy of conventions. Jay Wiley was telling me he and a buddy of his and some other folks all went up there a couple of years ago just for the experience. And it's held in Indianapolis, Indiana now. It used to be, the reason why it's called Gen Con is it used to be in Geneva, Wisconsin, which used to be the headquarters of TSR. The original makers of Dungeons and Dragons.
You mean the people that made the hot pink and green map for the second version of Terrible Swift Sword TSR?
Yes. The very same. The convention was held in Geneva, Wisconsin. That's why it's called Gen Con. Well, it's been moved to Indianapolis. And it's held downtown at the convention center, which you can following hallways and skyways and whatnot go from the convention center to Lucas Oil Field, where the Colts play. He got to play in a game on the 50-yard line of the Colts stadium. So there you go. Yeah, it's huge. It's expensive. It's not only expensive for attendees, but it's expensive to be a vendor there.
Right.
And it doesn't matter whether you're in the main shopping hall, or you're in one of the hallways on the way to Lucas Field. You're paying the same amount of money for the same amount of space, which is nuts. But to say that I would like to go to Gen Con, yes and no. I find that conventions like Gen Con are more about going and seeing what's available. You don't want to buy anything there because nobody runs any specials.
Right.
You know, you're window shopping is what you're doing. It's like a car show or an auto show. You know, every year, every city that's got a convention center has a car show, and you go to that car show to go see the new 2023 4-door Mustang, which still pisses me off.
With a freaking hybrid.
It's not even a hybrid. It's an electric.
Stinking.
It's a full-on EV, and it just pisses me off.
Who takes a muscle car and ruins it?
Yeah, Ford apparently. Nazi lover. We won't go.
And I'm not even a muscle car guy, but
you're a muscle shirt guy, though.
There's pythons. Don't dare wear this in public, though.
More, yeah, pythons. More like garter snakes.
Stop it.
Hey, I'm no one to talk. Yeah, you like Bane. Like Bane says, you go to Gen Con for the spectacle. You don't go to play a game. You because first off, not only does it cost you money to get into the convention, then it costs you money to play the games. It's ridiculous.
That is.
Paul says we only have one decent convention in Australia, CanCon in Canberra, once a year for 3 days, 50-50 miniatures and award gaming. I've only been a couple of times. Yeah, we've got so many small to medium-sized conventions here in the States. It's crazy. I know some of the better-known ones out in the West Coast, like KublaCon. I think they've got a CanCon out there also, or a ConCan, or actually, I think they have one. It's called Can'tCon, and you go to Can'tCon because you can't go to Gen Con. Everybody says, yeah, Gen Con is for releases and stuff. Pass. Paul, and the convention only Star Wars Legion figures. That makes me angry. Yeah. Mustang isn't a muscle car. Since when is a Mustang not a muscle car? You drop a 350. You drop a 350 Cleveland in that son of a bitch. You got a muscle car. Tell me a 1970 Shelby GT500 KR is not a muscle car.
Give me a fastback or one of those old 5.0 Mustang Gias.
Yeah,
those little tiny things.
Yeah. Or deflated balloons, whatever deflated balloons
Stop
have
it.
to do with.
That was Chuck. No, that wasn't Chuck. Who was that?
Pythons more like balloon snakes. Oh, nice. Anyway, well, we're gonna get off the arms here. But yeah, there's a lot of small and medium-sized conventions all over the place. One of my favorites is down in Austin called Millenniumcon. The reason it's called Millenniumcon is the first one was in 2000. So it's a really good one. They get, if I'm not mistaken, they get around 450, 500 attendees over the course of the weekend. it's a good little convention. I say good little convention. It's a good sized convention. Lots of great games. It is mostly miniatures, um, but you know it's still a good convention. Um, One of the conventions that I used to work with here, well, in Kansas City, was called Skirmishes. It was a good convention for about 3 or 4 years, and then what seems to happen with a lot of conventions that don't last long, internal strife
Right.
occurs. Um, Things start growing, and the infrastructure to hold up the convention isn't built soundly enough. And what I mean by that is people don't people put a lot of their own money into the convention,
Right.
and they don't separate it from their personal finances. So if you have one bad year, you freak out, and because you can't afford it that year, and so
It ends. Uh-oh. Did we just lose the Not Jay?
no, I brushed a button on my computer and it sent me back one page on my browser. Anyway, I'm back. So the things that I like about conventions is I don't go to conventions to play games. I go to conventions to run games. I go to conventions to show off my toys or
Right.
or the game system that I have, fallen in love with, as it were. Um,
Oh,
so
Fistful.
I've lately, yes, it's been Fistful lit. Before that, it was Tomorrow's War and Force on Force. Before that, it was my own World War II naval combat game. So I have always painted. Uh, I've always painted both sides. So that's why I've got Luke and Leia and Han and Chewie and Darth Vader and uh, uh, General Veers and stormtroopers, etc., and so forth. That's why I've got both the Israelis and the Arabs in 3 millimeter. That's why I've got Japanese and American and British and German warships. The only thing I don't have double of is World War II. I don't have any Germans or Italians or Japanese in 15 millimeter World War II.
Paul hit it on the nose. That's why I want to go to a.
Yes, and that's the other big thing, the secondhand marketplace. Yeah, you want to see vendors, and it's nice if the vendors are having convention specials, but there's two ways to handle the secondhand marketplace. You can have an actual room that people can get a table and put all their shit out, and they can sit there all day.
Furball out.
Sit there all day and hawk their wares, as it were, or you can do a silent auction. And that's what we're going to be doing at March to Victory. If you've got something you want to sell, for instance, let's say I've got all of these. That's probably what I'm going to do with a lot of these Warlord Games Civil War stuff. the stuff you don't want, Jeff.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to take it up there and put a minimum bid on it and see, here's a box of miniatures that sells for like $65. I'll take 30 for it.
There you go.
And you put a sheet of paper out there and someone will come along and say, yeah, I'll drop 30 on that. And then somebody else says, oh man, that's a great deal. I'll do 31. And then somebody comes along and says, no, I'll do 35. And, you're not going to get 65 out of it because A, it's still being made so you can buy it at retail. B, there's probably a vendor in the convention, in the vendor area that's selling it for 20% off anyway.
Right.
So, you're never going to get it. You're never going to get face value. But if you're not using it, or B, you've used it and you're no longer doing that particular scale or that particular genre or that particular whatever, might as well throw it out there,
Yep.
See who bites. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do silent auction because we do have a limited amount of space. We're at I can't remember if it's an American Legion or a VFW. Hold on, let me check something here. I'll be able to tell you here in about 2 seconds. It is at the American Legion post 499 in Blue Springs, Missouri.
Blue Springs. I had a buddy used to live there.
Anyway, so not a lot of space. We're able to get, like I said, 16 gaming tables in there. We're going to be able to get 9 vendor tables in there.
That's not bad.
No,
and
not at all.
What version of March to Victory is this?
What do you mean?
What edition is this? Is this the first one, or is this?
Yeah, this is going to be the very, very first time the convention called March to Victory is going to be held.
Well, then that's a plus. So
yeah.
So okay, so you said I would have questions, and I do. So how does you've got 16 gaming tables that are going to be running. Now, are there going to be like multiple tables that are probably running the same system? Will there be some kind of I want to say I heard y'all talking about this isn't a competition thing like that other thing is, but will there be some form of a competition or?
So how we're going about it is if you want to run a game, you have to send your application in on the March to Victory website. There's an application process. You're going to get your name, the name of the game, the name of the scenario, a brief blurb about the scenario, etc. And you're going to include some pictures. And the reason why we're including pictures is for 2 reasons. One, Robin wants to use those pictures to populate the website and populate the program to show people, hey, we're serious. This is going to look great. Come have fun.
Right.
2, we're going to make sure that the games that are run look great. Because too many times I've been to a convention where somebody has said, I'll run a game, and they turn out with a piece of felt and really well painted miniatures, but then they've just got felt, a cutout of felt. That's trees.
Okay, I got you.
And then we might as well be playing board games. Again,
right.
No. Nothing against playing board games, but if you're going to be if you're going to play with miniatures, have nice terrain to go with the miniatures. Or make it understood that there's a certain aesthetic that you're going for.
Right.
So, for instance, I've been printing out these little doohickeys for my brother.
Okay.
And what he's doing, he's just doing a dry brush of gray, and then doing some highlight bits of color.
Gotcha.
Because it's when he runs the game at CJ3 here in 2 weeks, hell, week and a half, it's going to be completely dark in the lodge with
Gotcha.
just a few lights overhead to enough to see what's going on. So he's going for an aesthetic where you're in a low light situation anyway. When you're in a low light situation, you're seeing, the colors are muted.
Right.
So, you're not going to have a lot of bright, vibrant colors. So, but if that's the aesthetic you're going for, if that's what you're looking at, make the gaming coordinator aware of that, so they don't just offhand, that's not completely painted.
Right.
It is, because that's the look I'm going for.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, there will be several tables. Obviously, there's going to be several tables with different versions of Fistful of Lead. There's going to be, McMurray's going to be running Eat Hitler. I'm sure there's going to be other people running other games, and that's perfectly okay. Even though it's being sponsored by Wiley Games, by no means is it a Wiley Games convention, if that makes sense.
Yep, sure.
So
they're just a cover band. Sounds like it's going to be a blast. I get that sense.
It will. We're going to be doing. We're going to be recording some games to put up onto both my channel and Wiley's channel. We're also going to do some live streaming. So be on the lookout for some live happenings that weekend. So you can live vicariously through us.
And I will.
Hanger Flying says, how would you go about setting a price point for minis you've already painted? Well, to be honest, that's a little touchy, a little difficult to say how you would want to go doing that. First off, you have to see, are the miniatures, can they be easily acquired in and of themselves? In other words, can I go out and purchase C-3PO? Yes, I can get the box that comes with C-3PO, R2-D2, and the escape pod. 2, is it decently painted? Because I've seen some crap also, and by no means am I calling your stuff crap. But what I'm saying is, I have seen where someone has, and these guys aren't finished, and they're probably going to get reworked. But I've seen them like this, and they're called, painted, and that this is not fully painted by any sense of the word. And they said fully painted, ready to go. Yeah, no, not so much. What I normally, depends. Again, if it's something I can go out and buy right now, it's the I would probably price it at 50% of retail. So if it's a $10 model, I'd price it at $5, and then an additional 10% for painting. So, if this model cost $5, I would make it $2.75 as a base. Again, in a silent auction, I would start him off at $2.75, maybe $3, and let it go from there. If you're talking about stands of units, again, whatever 50% of retail is plus 20%. Now, if it's models that are you're no longer able to purchase those models. For instance, you can no longer buy 4th edition Space Marines from new in the box. Then I would do retail plus that 10 or 20%. What they were originally. So if a box of Space Marines back then was 12 Marines for $25, then I would make those 12 Marines be $25 plus an extra $2.50 to $5. So, here's 12 Space Marines fully painted, $30, and go from there. Bunkhouse says, I know a guy who has a big piece of felt for his demo board. He does at least have miniature trees, though. And I'm not saying the piece of felt is bad. What I'm saying, though, is you got to have more than just felt. You got to have, you've got to have the trees. You got to have something that represents the forest. So, but yeah, I definitely like to see a good looking game. Now, what I have seen is some people taking board games and putting miniatures to those board games.
Right.
Perfect example is Commands and Colors. Commands and Colors Napoleonics. And what they did is they got the GeoHex styrofoam hexes, got them all locked up, laid the table out laid the board game, the board for the game out in those hexes. And if there was hills, there would be, a hex hill. If there was a forest, then they would have a hex with a forest on it that could be the forest part could be removed and be able to move the miniatures in. And then they used 6mm miniatures as the blocks. So an infantry of 4 blocks would be an infantry unit of 4 stands of 6mm miniatures to represent the blocks. Looked really, really good.
Hexes and Soldiers does a good job with that.
Yeah. Another one that I've seen, and I'm going to be doing it, is World at War 85 in miniatures. And that's why I'm getting the 3mm Airbud Israeli stuff, and I'm doing the 3mm Americans and Warsaw Pact. Because I will run a game like that. Yeah, Battlefield Accessories. Is that what the one you just said, Jeff?
No. I'm talking about one. There's a YouTuber named Hexes and Soldiers.
Okay. Yeah, because Becca says he doesn't say that. He says there's a company that sells advanced squad leader Scenics Battlefield Accessories from memory. Yeah, because there's a lot of people that like to board game, but they also like
want to see miniatures. Yeah,
to guss it up.
I get it.
So what I'm hoping to be able to do is next year for Victory, March to Victory, be able to run a World War 85 game using my 3mm miniatures and run the same scenario or be similar in scenario using Fistful of Lead bigger battles.
Right.
To see how both can do the same time period, the same genre, etc. So fingers crossed I get that done. That's what I'm hoping for. Um, so yeah, I don't go to play games. In fact, well, I can remember the last time I played a game at a convention. It was at Recruits 3 years ago now. Yeah, 1919 or 1919. Jesus Christ, 2019. And I played Chris Clucky's Fistful of Lead, Horse and Musket with his 54 millimeter Indians and French and Indian War scenario. Beautiful table, beautiful game. I've mentioned him many times before. I'm going to see if I can get him on the show sometime to talk about it because and show pictures because his stuff is amazing. He does buy the miniatures already painted, and by themselves they look gorgeous. But he goes in and goes the extra mile. He touches them up. So he's got, if let's say he's got two Iroquois miniatures that are the same sculpt, he will go in and paint them up or add to the painting to make them look different, like different war paint or different color breeches or whatnot. So,
so he'll sort of fine tune already painted minis.
Exactly.
Cool.
And to be honest, you would think, 54 millimeter, that's going to be a breeze. You got to be even better at painting at 54 millimeter than you do at 28 or even 15s or 6s, because the detail is there. Each one of the miniatures that he purchases is $45 to $50 a piece, and he's got hundreds of them.
God.
Yeah. McMurray says, I play at conventions all the time. That's half the fun. And I do play games at the conventions, but I don't go to play at the convention. I go to run games, and when I'm not running a game, if I find a game that interests me, I'll play it. So I don't want you to think I don't play games at conventions. I just don't go to conventions to play games. I go to conventions to run the games. So, then of course, I don't know a gamer on this planet that doesn't like to eat. So you got to make sure that either A, you've got concessions on hand, or you've got the ability to go to someplace close to eat. Because a lot of times, a lot of conventions don't give you much time between sessions. So March to Victory, we're starting first game session at 9, goes till noon. Next one picks up at 1, goes to 4. So you got a 1 hour break there, just long enough to maybe go grab a burger at the local burger joint or some tacos. There will be a Whataburger like right next door. It's opening this month. LBW Steve is in the house. Hey, fellas. Hello, sir. Welcome. But then from 4 to 7, we've got a 3 hour break. That's going to give you enough time to go out and get to a decent restaurant, get you a decent bit of food, and come back. But if you don't want to do that, it's an open game time also.
Right. And that's where you'll probably see your off the wall people trying to get in something that's, a little different, a little unique maybe.
Yeah. Paul says pizza, hot dog, sausage rolls, and Aussie meat pies, convention food. Exactly. Chips, Cokes, popcorn, what have you.
What the hell's an Aussie meat pie?
It's kind of like a pasty. Let's see.
Still lost me.
Hot Pocket.
Oh, okay.
I gotta talk Bachelor. Stu says, just got done playing some BCS with Clay. Thought I'd run over and say hi to you guys. Well, thank you for joining us. Again, I say it all the time. I truly appreciate you guys coming in and seeing me, and Jeff.
Occasionally.
Kenneth Seidenblad says, howdy, y'all. Howdy, sir.
Kenneth, how you doing?
He says, no, it's not. Paul says, no, it's not. I know it's not. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to be similar to. He says he's going to have to make a video. If I'm not mistaken, an Aussie meat pie is going to be something similar to the Irish or Scottish pasty, which is, how I've seen it traditionally made is take something like a tuna can, put your dough in there around the edges, throw in your meat du jour, cover that up, bake it, pop it out, and you eat it as you go. If I'm not right on that, Paul, let me know. No, not close. Okay.
Damn it.
No cabbage stew. Yeah, cabbage stew isn't going to work real well at a convention. McMurray says, slingers for everybody. There you go. The St. Louis treat. As long as you don't bring that Emo's garbage pizza to town, we're golden. Excuse me. So, but yeah, we are going to have, they've got a friend, Jay and Robin have a friend that owns a hot dog roller.
There you go.
And nacho cheese machine.
Nothing beats a freaking sports game hot dog.
Yep. I mean, nothing beats a roller dog. So yeah, we're gonna have plenty of that, and like I said, we're gonna have a bar where you can actually go and grab a drink, reasonably priced, I would suspect. Burritos, yeah, burritos are good. I know, and I'm bringing this up because there may be some lurkers out there that aren't commenting, and that's okay. You don't have to comment to be here. If you want to comment, beautiful. Love to have you just watching. But if you are here and you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. I've got 115, so please subscribe. Steve says, well, someone bring Hot Pockets for Jeff.
Please.
We'll make sure we got Hot Pockets for Jeff. And then Kenneth says, gut bombs on gas station roller. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, something I'm very, very... I'm super excited that Kansas City is getting Whataburgers. I had another one this last weekend, and I had a Whataburger breakfast on a bun on the way home on Monday morning. So I'm all about having Whataburger there in town. What I am sad to see is the closest White Castle to the Kansas City metro area is Columbia, about an hour and a half away.
Columbia, Missouri?
Yeah. Steve wants to know, going to March to Victory, Jeff? No, not this year. Maybe we can get him out here next year. Or he might just surprise us. Who knows?
Know. You never know.
Yeah, gas station roller food boosts your immune system. If you eat a tuna salad sandwich from the gas station, you become invincible, as we found out from Philip J. Fry in Futurama.
Not related.
Steve says getting closer to North Dakota. My brother's in the house. Oh, you got your internet back. Good to see. He says Kansas City needs Taco Cabana. Yes, it does. Ken says always wanted to try White Castle. You can get them in the freezer section at your local grocery store or Walmart's, and they're okay, but that's not the same. And White Castle fries only come in one size. Yes, they do. Perth just got its first Taco Bell. I haven't tried it yet because they put the store in the bad part of town.
What do they call it? Dingo Bell?
Right. Yeah, that's right. It was an egg salad. It wasn't a tuna salad. It was egg salad. So, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna have everything about a convention that I like, and almost none of the stuff I don't like. There's not going to be any tournaments. Devin's in the house. Hi, Devin. How you doing today, sir?
OG.
How you doing, OG? So there's not going to be any competitive play, no tournaments as of yet. John Longshore's in the house. Hi, John. Welcome. If y'all were sitting there watching, don't feel like I was calling you guys out to make y'all comment. I wasn't. I'm just wanting to make sure everybody subscribes. It's so, we're not going to have tournaments. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's just, it's not something that I like.
Well, this is a groundbreaker for you all, in a sense. An icebreaker, maybe.
Right.
To see what, if anything, you learn, okay, well, this part of this did not work, but this part of this was freaking awesome.
Right. So, Ken says the best part of cons is trying new games. Absolutely. That's what I really like. Best part of cons is catching up with your YouTube buddies. Absolutely. If you come out to March to Victory, you'll get to meet me. You'll get to meet McMurray. You'll get to meet the Baron and Steve. Maybe Todd if he's not in San Antonio that weekend. So,
I'm going out to LBW Steve's house in the summer for Basement Con.
There you go.
That's where I sleep, in his basement, and I play war games.
Yeah, Jay and I are going to be attending my invitation-only convention held here in beautiful West Central Illinois or Central Western Illinois. I can't remember how we're classified. We're going to have 8 to 10 of our friends joining us for the weekend. That's going to be in a week and a half.
Oh, this is your J3 thingy?
Yeah, my CJ3. Yep. We kind of use that. We used to use J3 as a.
This is your brother's thing, right?
CJ3 is mine.
Okay, all right.
CJ3 is mine. J3 is Brother Jay's in July.
Gotcha.
And we used to use J3 as a dress rehearsal for the games we were going to run at Recruits. Well, Recruits is pretty much going to the wayside now. So CJ3 is going to be our dress rehearsal for March to Victory.
Right.
John says, yeah, tournaments turn everything hardcore. If you want a nice, friendly, non-table throwing con, don't do them. Well, what you do is you separate them from everybody else. If we decide to have tournaments, they would definitely be going someplace other than the main floor. McMurray says, be right back. Going to go get a bunch of roller delicacies. There you go, brother. Paul wants to know what you're getting. Jay says he's not going to be at March to Victory because he's going to see Greta Van Fleet that weekend. For those of you who don't know who Greta Van Fleet is, they are a band, fairly new. Of course, anything in the last 30 years to me is fairly new when it comes to music. But they have a sound quite similar to Led Zeppelin. Really good stuff. New Mexico has a lack of cons. Yeah. I think I don't know for a fact, but I think there may be a small con in Lubbock. I think there's some stuff up in Colorado. Like,
You mean tell me Albuquerque doesn't have any cons come through there?
Don't know. McMurray says probably egg rolls or hot dogs. Might still have a bratwurst. It's early. Nice. John Longshore says, shrug. I stopped following bands once the police broke up. Fair enough.
Don't stand so close to me, John.
Right. Are you quite done?
Okay, don't look down in the camera.
I've got this thing in my lap.
Oh my God.
This 20-pound behemoth. Frito bag with nacho cheese and shake it up. You forgot the chili. You need the chili in there. Chili,
they don't know
shredded cheese, onion, some jalapenos. Perfect. Good stuff.
Don't make me go get my bucket of cheese balls.
Yeah. What you doing? Go on, get. There you go.
All right. So what are you prepping for your CJ3?
I'm going to be.
It's a convention in a sort of way.
Getting these going.
And where's the one you finished?
What's that?
Where's the one that you finished and got all the pieces put inside it that you were showing? That ain't it. You got one that had boxes and everything.
I don't know where that one is, to be honest.
That one looked good.
Yeah. I miss MCon in Austin. That is a good one. Yeah, I was talking about that. That used to be my local convention. I literally lived 15 minutes from the Wingate Hotel in Round Rock.
Potty break. Be right back.
All right. So yeah, I love Millenniumcon. It's a great convention. Hopefully going to be going back. Maybe not this year, but next year. John says you have to spend all day making chili. A can of Hormel isn't going to do it. Well, see, for Frito pie, it's Wolf brand chili with no beans in it. So you get your bag of Cheetos. You know, if you're holding it up like this, you turn it on its side. You cut the top off or the side off. You open it up. Put a scoop of Wolf brand no beans chili, shredded cheese, some diced onions, some jalapenos. Take a plastic spork, stir it, boom, done. So, or go to Wendy's. Wendy's does have decent chili with beans, but you know, neither here nor there. Oh, you lived in Bee Cave? Yeah, that's I had a great aunt that owned some property right off of Hamilton Pool Road. So Wolf Brand Chili is it's a Texas brand. So have I ever done Tabletop Simulator? No, I haven't. I need to pick it up because if I pick it up, Devin will play World War 85 with me. So I just need to get it. Yeah, Kenneth, I lived off of 35, well, just south of 35 or just north of 35 and Grand Avenue. Not the same as minis on a table, but any port in a store. Maybe someday we can game if you play Tabletop Simulator. Hey, we'll see what I can do. And Becca says I want to learn. So
Steve's a good one to. He's a good one to like digital play.
Yeah. Now, Steve, where are you again? If I remember correctly, you're
North Dakota.
Fargo? Maybe Jeff would try Tabletop Simulator.
I have Tabletop Simulator, and I have 3 Days of Gettysburg on it.
There you go. And then Steve says, cool, P. Beckus. Now, something that has happened, Fargo. Yeah. So, okay, here's the deal, Steve. Next time I get a chance to head up to my family cabin on White Earth Lake, we'll need to see if we can't get together and get something going, because you being from Fargo, you should know where White Earth Lake is, just north of Detroit Lakes by about a half hour. So Paul says he wants to play Hexy in a game of Combat Commander.
Fortunately, a Mr. Wardrobe sent me that copy of Combat Commander there, PD.
There you go. Now, something that has happened during all of this COVID business, and that's virtual conventions. Oh yeah, I've done that too, Steve. My family cabin is directly across the lake in Wilkinson Bay.
You two have probably met and don't even know it.
It's possible. Who knows?
You're both old as shit.
Have you looked in the mirror?
Oh, my bad.
Of course, this isn't helping the fight, is it? Anyway, but it's virtual conventions. My brother and I have run several games of What a Tanker for virtual cons and even personal. It's also, if y'all remember back in the day when Rocky's War Room was still a thing, we played Fistful of Lead on his table. Me sitting here hour and a half north of him. Todd and McMurray sitting in their respective houses. Quite fun.
For John Longshore.
John, you need to get more sleep. The bags under your eyes show it. You don't need sleep when you can hide it, baby. Matt says Tabletop Simulator was great for Star Trek Frontiers, but I do prefer Vassal for Hex and Counter games.
Now, Matt, I did not know that you were a mini player. Or am I missing something?
Steve says Black Powder, Bold Action, War of the Ring, lots of fun. I'm assuming you meant fun. Anyway, so yeah.
That's how they say it in Argo.
Yeah, in Argo, yeah. Nice. Oh yeah, betcha, don't you know? Steve says, better get your money back on that, Jeff. Chain of Command is a great game for Star Trek. Would you stop it? I suppose you don't like the American Tank Hunter rules either.
I will admit that I did enjoy watching McMurray and Toddley play last night. What
were they playing?
I think it was Chain of Command. What was it, McMurray? Chain of Command or it was Chain of Command, wasn't it? Or was it Blitzkrieg Commander or something like
Steve says he doesn't get to bug you much anymore.
You got my phone number, Steve-O.
Matt says Star Trek Frontiers is an adventure game. I still set up plastic army men and flick them over with my fingers if that counts as playing with me. Sure, why not? Absolutely. Murray says yes, it was. So, but
let me tell you something. McMurray he's a freaking field general in them things.
Yeah, he is. I was all ready to send out your drawing prize, but you deleted it. Blah. Deleted what? Scenario 2 from the Jim Blow Gap. Is that how that's pronounced? Jim Blow?
Jim Blow. It's French. Call it whatever you want. Or Belgian. Call it whatever you want.
I'm not a Frenchie. I'm a Belgie. So, yeah. Conventions are a lot of fun. It is, for me, the epitome is the epitome of what I game for. The social interaction.
Right.
The thing I liked about recruits, and I'm hoping to be able to pick back up again with March to Victory, is I got to come back to my old stomping grounds from high school days and meet up with old gaming buddies that I hadn't seen, well, since the last time I was at the convention. Because at the time I was living in Austin, and now living over here, so I didn't get to see them that often. So it was nice to see people that I had, gamed with while I was cutting my teeth in the gaming world. I'm hoping to get that with March to Victory. I know I'll be able to get that when I eventually get back to Millenniumcon. Because even though my favorite game store in Austin is no longer around, the people are, for the most part. They haven't all died yet. Let's see, comments coming in here. Paul says McMurray is Napoleon reincarnated. John says, I used to play Airfix figures in the sandbox using cat turds for fortifications.
Shoot them with your BB gun.
Yep. Mike House says, hey, I understood the Belgie reference. McMurray just likes games. Yeah, you do, brother. You're stupid for games. Steve says, okay, I'm off reading a good vampire count novel by Games Workshop. Want to get in some pages before my eyes start looking like Jeff. I only teach because I like you,
Steve. You suck.
All right, Steve, thanks for dropping in, buddy. Take care. Yeah, like I said, next time I'm at my lake cabin in the summertime, we'll need to get together. At least have a beer.
Go to his store.
What's that?
Go to his game store.
Oh, yeah, well, there's that too. I'll bring the beer. No one is Napoleon. Maybe Marshall Bernadotte.
Marshall Bernadotte. Yeah, that was a boo-boo that Napoleon made at Waterloo.
Paul says, see ya, LBW. Chuck chiming in, McMurray, your scenario 2, Jim Blow Gap just showed up on my YouTube. Steve says, you just haven't been to my store yet, so you can't have a favorite store yet. Again, favorite store in Austin, favorite store in Kansas City. I'm sure yours will be a favorite. It says, have a good night, fellas. Always some fun. You bet. Keep me posted. Definitely, sir. You spend time at Great Hall Games. So did I. A lot of time. So we probably have met in passing at least once. Later, Paul. Let's try and do Tabletop Simulator sometime. And gives a wink. So thanks for dropping in. Appreciated. So yeah.
About playing with old convention buddies. Now, see, since I've never been one, I've never done that. But I was thinking that up until when I came back here to gaming in the last 2 years, the last time I had played a game with somebody was when I was at the end of my basic training at Fort Knox.
Yeah.
Me and a guy named Petrovich went to the Patton Museum on Fort Knox there, and they were selling SPI's old Army Group South quad, and I bought it, and we had a game set up in my wall locker on the insert where you put all your socks and everything. We had a one-map game, and we were playing that son of a bitch on a weekend in basic training.
Nice.
First freedom we had, first liberty we had. And since then, I have not played a game against anybody until I came back to gaming here recently.
Come
But
on.
I'm curious to go to a con and see, I'm the same way. I'm not going to play when I go to my first con, but I want to see the other players because it's been so long since I've seen that.
Yeah.
Masses of people playing a game or something other than what I see on YouTube. So I'm kind of tickled at it. And of course the vendors. I want to go to the vendors and find some of those old games that you just can't find or see what's new.
Well, again, McMurray and I are going to be planning to come to one of the big East Coast conventions, hopefully sometime this year. So we're going to drag you with us.
Yep, by all means. I'm down or up, whatever you want to say.
So, but yeah, like I said, conventions are exactly why I game. It's the social aspect. Honestly, the table with the game between my opponent and I is just the vehicle for interaction, to be honest.
Right. There you go. You social bug.
Yeah, it's a way, and it's a way to meet friends also. One of my best friends in the world I met at a gaming tournament at one of the local stores in Austin. He had gotten out of gaming for a while. I was out of gaming for a while. We both got back into gaming about the same time. We both realized we're not competitive players. The only reason why we were playing at tournaments was it was guaranteeing us, 3 games that weekend.
Right.
When we figured out, hey, one of us has enough room to have a game table in their house, we just started gaming there. And, the people that we had met at those tournaments that we liked, that we had met there, we invited to join us. So
there you go. Don't tell Nache about a gaming thing on the Battleship Texas.
Oh, I know all about Broadside. I know all about it. Says Steve says he's got a Facebook page with good pics of what we do. Should be able to see it even without a Facebook account. That's my crappy website I'll be working on this year. I posted his website, littlebigwars.com. McMurray says Jeff's just been playing with himself for years.
Stop it.
I believe that's what he just said.
I was married 3 times. So, yeah, I was. You're right.
Steve, lol, McMurray. Steve says, okay, better go, lol. Later, fellas. Take care, Steve. We'll see you next week, buddy. Take care. P-Beck says, salute 2023. I'm going to try my best to be there. You know what? If I had the ability to do that, I don't know when Salute is.
Where is Salute?
Salute is in London, England. But instead of, I bet for the money that I spend on Disney, might just be able to get a trip to London. Paul, keep me informed. If you are going to go to Salute 2023, I might just have to see if the wife will go with me.
Well, if they ever open the country back up.
Well, there is that. Yeah, Ken, they do have a con on the Battleship Texas. Like I said, yeah, I know all about Broadside. I wanted to go, but it never just panned out for me. So maybe someday I will be able to get down there. John Longshore, I swear I posted my email somewhere for the winner of your drawing. I was given a choice of 3 prizes. Okay. Well, you know what, John? Send me here. If you will send me your email address and the choice of 3 prizes, I will make a video for that. Or not even a video for that. I'll just send that information to Chuck, and we'll get something figured out here. Where he says April, usually the back end of April every year. I'd rather go to Partisan or Joy of Six than Salute. If I went to England and took my wife, I can damn near guarantee I won't be spending any time at a game convention. John says, okay. So, yeah, I'll get that information over to Chuck if you want to send that to me. Paul says, I've been to Salute. It was a religious experience. Fair enough. Well, guys, I think we probably have beaten this horse dead this time around.
Yeah, but wait till after you have the damn thing.
What, the dead horse?
You'll have to have 3 episodes of this just to get it all out.
Oh, probably so.
Yeah.
Matt says my wife really wants to go back to WBC, but she doesn't want to bring the kids again. So we'll likely be putting it off this year.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. Whenever that thing gets back to doing its thing, because like I said, I've never been to one. If I'm going to go to one, that's probably going to be it. That'll be one I'll make it mandatory that I go to. And if I do, I hope to see a lot of you all show up at that thing. Those of you that are out this way, that'd be cool to meet you guys.
So what's WBC?
World Board Gaming Championships.
Where's that?
It's where's it at, Matt? Isn't it over here in Baltimore, or was it up in Pennsylvania? I think it's nearby. I think it's in Baltimore.
WBC, World Board Game Championship.
Yeah, Seven Springs, PA. It was supposed to be. No, Historicon was in Kingdom of Prussia this year, right? They had to move it or something for this year.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so WBC is going to be July 23rd to the 31st in Seven Springs Resort in Pennsylvania.
Right. I thought I'd heard they weren't going to do it again. I didn't want to say my buddy told me that the other day.
Oh, I'm looking at their website right here.
No cancellation yet on it? Good.
Not yet.
Hey, wait a minute. You all were telling me last year that y'all were going to come out here this year.
What? Who?
You and McMurray.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. The plan is to come out and see you this year during one of the HMGS conventions.
And I will gladly go.
So probably not going to be Cold Wars. Let's see. Yeah, Cold Wars 2022 has been canceled, so it's not going to be that one. Historicon, July 20th through the 24th, 2022.
Damn, isn't that the same as WBC?
No. WBC is the 23rd through the 31st.
All right.
It's at Lancaster County Convention Center, wherever Lancaster is.
Hop, skip, and a jump.
All right.
We'll do Gettysburg while y'all are here.
And then Fall In. Falling from it was canceled, replaced with Historicon. We are hopeful and planning that Fallen will return to the schedule in 2022. So there you have it. So to give you an idea, the Historicon, which is like the miniature wargaming and board gaming historical convention,
Right.
had an attendance last year of 1,696.
Wow. In a bad year, that.
So there you have it. Like I said, they have decided to cancel Cold Wars. Cold Wars is normally in the spring, winter time frame, early winter, or early in the year, winter or spring. Historicon is in the summer.
Well, I'll put it to y'all like this too. If anybody ever just is getting, whether not even a convention, but if you're getting out this way and you want to go to Gettysburg or down to Antietam or over to Bull Run or anything in the Shenandoah Valley, I mean, that's where I live, at the top of the Shenandoah Valley. Gettysburg is my home away from home twice a year at least. I live 10 minutes from Antietam, 15 minutes from Harper's Ferry. The valley is just walk down the street here a few steps. And so if anybody wants to get here and just go kick around some of these battlefields, you let me know ahead of time and I'm down. Just here's one tip: if you've never been to Gettysburg, don't go on a weekend or a holiday unless you like that,
because you're probably packed with.
You ever been to a 6-year-old soccer game where they just move around like a blob?
Yeah.
Well, you go to Gettysburg on a holiday or a reenactment day, and that's what all the freaking sites at the battlefield have: blobs of people by the thousands moving around like a kid's soccer game.
Yeah,
it's impossible to enjoy it.
Let's see here. Where am I going? Chuck says if he had a decent car, he could be in Blue Springs, Missouri in about 1.25 days. Yeah, that's a haul from San Diego, brother. My stepdad did that when he got off of Midway, USS Midway. After his second tour of Vietnam, he bought a car and drove all the way home to Kansas City. I think he drove straight through also. Crazy. Becca says, that's my dream to get there, Hexy. He wants to go to Gettysburg.
Brother, you built-in tour guide right here.
And you know what? whether we get out to that convention or not, I might just grab McMurray and we might just come out anyway.
I'm telling you, we regardless of a convention, just the stuff out here to see. Yeah, just the Civil War history alone by itself is just unbelievable. I mean, okay, so Gettysburg to me is Disney to you.
Yeah, probably a shit ton cheaper too.
Yeah.
Warman says already, take it easy. Finish 16 Romans with Gladius for SPQR. Always welcome to come out to Arizona. Open invitation in July. It's a little warm. It's a little warm in July.
I don't even like the heat here in July. Why would I want that heat?
Right? Oh, but it's a dry heat. Like a friggin' oven. And then Hair Flying says, I was out at G-Berg this last May during the middle of the week, and I spent the whole day just walking the entire first day. It was awesome.
That's what I do, buddy. I'll drive up there. It's like an hour from me. I'll drive up there, just spend 4 hours walking around. My favorite part of the battlefield is the first day out on McPherson's Ridge, and I'll just walk that thing and look at try to get the angles of where the regiments came in and how they were opposed, and I love that stuff. Matt says, AJ, it was closed until they closed it down. They were going to reopen it. I think it was September 26th last year, and because I had gone up at the first week of September, and I always eat there before I go and do the second day battle, and then Pickett's Charge, the third day battle area. I always go to General Pickett's buffet, but they were closed.
Yeah, Jay's been out there several times. At least once when he was still an OCS instructor.
I used to take the third infantry, the color guard. I used to take them on their little spur rides up there. After I got out of service, I had a buddy that was he was a master sergeant. And I used to take those guys, go up there, ride the buses with them, and fill in the details when they would do their little stops. I got more coins from sergeant majors from them.
John Longshore says, Gettysburg, the crowds just keep coming. And in 1863, nobody wanted to be there. He's not wrong. So, I still, and this is, we've gone off topic at this point, and that's fine. As long as I like to stay on topic as much as possible. But, at the end of the show, we can just start, gabbing about whatever. And that's fine. What just still amazes me is how close everything is up there.
Yeah.
Growing up in Texas, and I know you guys are probably just ass tired of me talking about Texas all the time, but growing up in Texas, everything was a drive. I mean, in Austin or San Antonio, well, San Antonio, you're closer to driving to Mexico than you are to any of the other states that touch Texas.
Right.
So to get anywhere, you're having to pack lunches,
Right.
And, so in my mind, Gettysburg is, hours away from Washington, D.C. But with today's vehicles, and not counting traffic, because traffic is idiotic. But if you didn't have to deal with traffic, it's hour and a half?
At most. Yeah.
From Gettysburg to Washington. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
Hour and a half gets you from one side of Austin to the other.
Right. Well, it's like, if you're in D.C. and you drive to Bull Run, if you blink, you're in Bull Run. I mean, because of that. I mean, just everything is so, I used to talk about not ever wanting to live in the Martinsburg, West Virginia area because I always thought it was dirty, and it used to piss me off because this is the hub. This is the top of the Shenandoah Valley. Everything flowed through here. And then when I finally moved up here, I was like, which granted, I didn't move that far away to get up to here, but I'm like, damn, man, I can get to anything now within 2 hours. Anything.
Yeah. Hanger Flying says, also is that East Cavalry field at sundown. That was a breathtaking experience. And then my brother says, you think you're tired. Imagine being his brother. Yeah, thanks. Ken says El Paso is halfway to Houston from Los Angeles. Hanger Flying 3 hours by air with all the vectoring around. Nice. You guys are so lucky with all that ACW history on your doorstep. Maybe, okay, so here's the deal, Jeff. You know I'm not a huge Civil War guy.
You've never been on a battlefield either, have you?
I think that's going to be it. I think when
it's
I
like
come
a
out
hockey
there,
game was to me.
I think when I get out there with you, or if I was out there with Jay.
You get on Gettysburg. I get you on Gettysburg battlefield. We will have to take you to the hospital for the 4-hour erection you're going to have.
The Old Chestnut says, I have to drive an hour in any direction to get to the nearest shopping mall. Same here. Living out here in West Central Illinois, where the closest mall of any consequence would be that's not a Walmart. Is going to be Quincy, Illinois, and that's 45 minutes on a good day, or south into St. Louis area. That's an hour and a half. So yeah, Let's see. John says if I went east, I want to visit Saratoga, Ticonderoga, and Valley Forge, and stop at Washington D.C. and Williamsburg. Becca
John,
says,
I'm not going to push your ass to the top a little round top just to shove your ass down it.
right. It's like when you go to France, so many battlefields in such a small area. And the thing with France is that's 1,000 years worth of battlefields all in the same damn area.
I never went the 7 years I was stationed in Germany. All the traveling I did over there, I never once went to Waterloo.
You're nuts.
Never once.
I'm not a Napoleonics guy, but I would love to go to the battlefield there.
Never went to the Ardennes. And yet I played Bach am Rhein SPI probably 3 times while I was in Germany and never went to the Ardennes. All over that freaking place and never went to it.
Yeah, but you have Huntsman Spiders, equal trade. No, because I want to go to Gettysburg. I don't want any damn thing to do with Huntsman Spiders.
You know, when you go, and anybody's been there, when you go to Gettysburg, you know, of course, the first place that everybody sticks in their mind is Little Round Top Devil's Den. And when you see it for the first time, you're like, fuck. I mean, the distance is not that far from Devil's Den to Little Round Top. And then you're trying to picture all the stories. And of course, they cleared away 90% of the wood lines to make it look like it did in July of 1863.
Yeah.
But the thing that always gets me is when I first pull up to the left or the northern edge of the line that was set up for Pickett's charge, and then you're standing there pretty much near where the Lee statue is and the North Carolina and Tennessee monuments are right there. And then you drive through some woods, you come out the other side, and now you're starting to reach where the right side of the line of Pickett's charge started. This thing's a mile long where these guys were stretched out. And then they were going a mile pretty much across that field. And when you stand there and you stand at one end, then you go to the other and you're like, Jesus Christ.
Kenneth says I took my kids to the Alamo set in Brackettville and then to the real Alamo on the same trip. They were amazed at the difference. Yeah, what a lot of people don't understand is the Alamo is in downtown San Antonio. San Antonio is the 7th largest city in the United States. It is very metropolitan. It's very surrounded by city. Now, 180 some odd years ago, it wasn't. It was out in the sticks, very much like Brackettville is today. But yeah, a lot of people are just way surprised. You went to the Alamo and got confused for a Taco Bell. That could happen. That could happen. It's like the only battlefield Waterloo that is preserved. A million other battles are lucky to have a plaque. Agreed. So, all right, boys. And if there are any ladies out there, I don't want to be dismissive. But I think we're going to wrap it up for the night. Thanks again, one and all, for showing up. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming and watching. Like I said, if you have not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Would love to have y'all be a part of this on a regular basis. So, last thing. Ken says, go to the Meager Hotel in San Antonio. Yeah, if you go to the bar, that's where Teddy Roosevelt raised his Rough Riders to go then charge up San Juan Hill during the Spanish-American War. Meager Hotel in San Antonio. Paul Beckson says, great chat, time flew. Thank you, Paul. And John Longshore, as always, giving us applause. So, again, guys, thank you one and all. We will see you next time. Not sure what we're going to
do. A game video.
There you go. So, take care, one and all. And see you next week. Be on the lookout for another great video Friday. We're talking more about World War 85. Everybody take care. Have a good night.